Good morning, students. Today we will do reading of chapter number 12 and I will send today textual question answer of chapter 11 and 12. Do this question answer in your fair notebook and do the MCQs in book only. Okay, beta? And one more thing, on coming Tuesday there will be test of chapter number 10 reader, the day the river spoke. So beta, all the best for your online test. Be prepared for the test. In the test, first 10 word meanings learn. Then make a sentence. Any word is given from the given word meanings. Okay. And you have to frame your own sentence, textual question answers and MCQs. So all the best. Chapter 12, The Wizard of Oz, 2nd. Here the Wizard of Oz is telling a story why he has become a humbug. So they sat down and listened while the Oz told the following tale. I was born in Omaha. When I grew up, I became a ventriloquist. But a ventriloquist is a person who speaks without moving his or her lips. So he is telling, I became a ventriloquist. At that, I was very well trained by a great master. I can imitate any kind of a bird or a beast. Imitate means to copy someone. So at that time he can copy any kind of bird or a beast voice. Here he mewed so like a kitten that Toto pricked up the ears and looked everywhere to see where it was. So pricked up its ear means raised the ear. So Toto raised its ears to listen the sound of a cat because that Oz started mewed. He was making the sound of a kitten and looked everywhere to see where it was. After a time, continued the Oz, I was tired of that and become a balloonist. Then he told, after some time I got tired of this job and then I become a balloonist. See, what is that? Asked Dorothy. Then Dorothy asked, what is it? A man who goes up in a balloonist means a man who goes up in a balloon on a circus day so as to draw a crowd of people and get them to pay to see the circus. He explained what is balloonist. Balloonist is a person who goes up in the air by sitting in a balloon and he as to draw a crowd of people. So, oh, she said, I know. Then Dorothy replied, oh, I know this. Well, one day I went up in a balloon and the ropes got twisted. Then she also replied, one day I will also go in a balloon and that will be twisted. Twisted means molded. Okay. Next is twisted exact means is turned one end in the opposite direction. Come down again for a day and a night. I traveled through the air on the morning of the second day. Then on the second day, the balloon came down gradually. Then she was telling one day it went up in the air, and the next day, second day, the balloon came down gradually means slowly. I found myself in the midst of the strange people who seeing me come from the clouds. And she was telling her experience. I found myself that balloon reached amongst the strange people. Thought I was a great wizard. Of course, I let them think so because they were afraid of me and promised to do anything I wished them to do. So the people thought that I am a great wizard. So I let them think that because now at that time the people were afraid and they promised me to do anything, whatever I wanted to do them. Just to amuse myself, keep the good people busy, I ordered them to build this city and my palace. Amuse means to make time pass pleasantly for somebody or myself. So I make myself pleasantly. I make myself pleasant. I ordered them to build this city and a palace. They did it for me willingly, knowingly. Then I thought, as the country was so green and beautiful, I would call it the Emerald City. Then I thought this city is very green and beautiful. So I called the city Emerald City To make the name fit better, I put the green spectacles on all the people so that everything they see is green. So I gave them the spectacles so that the people can wear that specs, and uh, by the specs all the things was seen as a green. Next is, but isn't everything is here green? Asked Dorothy. Dorothy asked, everything was green. No more than in any other city, replied the Oz, but when you wear green spectacles, everything you see looks green to you. Then he replied, whenever you will wear these spectacles, everything will be green. Will be looking, you can see greenery over there. One of my greatest fear were the witches. Then he told his experience. One was the greatest my fear was the witches only, for while I had no magical powers at all. At that time I didn't have any magical power. I soon found out that the witches were really able to do the wonderful things. Witches means a woman who is having a magical powers. They can do any wonderful things. So there were four of them in the country. Then I came to know that in our country there are four witches. They ruled the people who lived in the north, south, east, and west. So there are four witches who are living in all directions, in all four directions. Fortunately means luckily what happened? The witches of the north and the south were good, and I knew they would do me no harm. So I know the good witches would do no harm to me, but the witches of the east and west were terribly wicked. They were terribly bad, and had they not thought I was more powerful than they themselves, and I know that they are more powerful than me. So I was afraid of that wicked witches. They would surely have destroyed me. I know that they will destroy me. I am happy that you have destroyed both the witches. So now I am very happy just because you had destroyed that bad witches. I think you are a very bad man, said Dorothy. Then the Dorothy replied, I think you are a bad man. Oh no, my dear. Then that Oz replied, oh no, my dear, I am really a very good man. I am a good man, but I am a very bad wizard, I must admit. Now that wizard admitted that I am a bad wizard, but I am a good man. Can't you give me brains? Asked the scarecrow. Then a scarecrow is again asking, can't you give me brain? Whatever promise you have done, can't you complete your promise? You don't need them. You are learning something every day. Now he's saying, you don't need brain. He's telling to scarecrow, because you are learning something every day. Every day you are learning something. A baby has a brain, but it doesn't know much. A baby has a brain, but it doesn't have a experience, and experience is the only things that brings knowledge. And the longer you are on earth, the as we face the difficulty, we become a more courageous person in the world. Perhaps I have, but I am scared just the same, said the lion. I shall really be very unhappy unless you give me a sort of courage that makes one forget he is afraid. Then he is asking again, unless you will give me courage, I will become a unhappy person on this world. In this world. Very well, I will give you that sort of courage tomorrow, replied the Oz. Then the Oz replies, I will give you that courage tomorrow. How about my heart? Asked the Tin Woodman. Now the Tin Woodman is also asking about his heart. Why, as for that, answered the Oz, I think you are wrong to want a heart. It makes most people unhappy. If you only knew it, you are in luck and to have heart. So why, as for that, answered Oj, I think you are wrong to want a heart. You don't need any kind of heart. Okay? If you only knew if you are in luck but not to have a heart. You need a luck, not a heart. Next page is, that must be a matter of opinion, said the Tin Woodman. Tin Woodman says, it's your opinion. For my part, I will bear all unhappiness without a murmur if you will give me a heart. Then he said, if you will not give me any heart, then I will be unhappy. Very well, answered the Oz meekly. Come to me tomorrow, you shall have a heart. I have played wizard so many years that I might as well continue the part a little longer. Then he replied, come to me tomorrow, I will give you heart. Now, said Dorothy, how am I to get back to Kansas? Now Dorothy asked, "How can I go back to Kansas? We shall have to think about it." Next replied the little man, "There is only one thing I ask in return for my help. Such as it is, you must keep my secret and tell no one I am a humbug." Then now he is asking that I am a humbug. This is a secret. Just keep this secret with you. They agreed to say nothing of what they had learnt and went back to their rooms in high spirits. Now they agreed to say nothing of what they had learnt and went back to their rooms with the high spirit. Even Dorothy had hoped that the great and the terrible humbug, as she called him, would find a way to send her back to Kansas, and if he did, she was willing to forgive him everything. So the wizard gives the finally the wizard gave Scarecrow brain, loin, courage, and the Tin Woodman a heart. So as for the Dorothy, he plans to take her to Kansas in a balloon, and Oz planned to take her in her balloon to Kansas. Dorothy finds Toto chasing a kitten and gets down to catch it. Before she can come back, the ropes break and the wizard floats away alone. Her three friends try to help her reach Kansas. She, however, uses her silver shoes to return home. The Tin Woodman stays in the Wicked Witch's land and as a king. Now, in the Wicked Witch's land, he became king, and the Scarecrow stays in the Emerald City as a ruler, and he became ruler. The lion goes back to the forest as the king of the forest. He became the king of the forest lion. At home, Dorothy finds that her silver shoes are lost in flight, never to be found again. And Dorothy's silver shoes were lost while traveling. So this is all about the story. Beta, read this chapter again, chapter number 11 and chapter number 12. And do MCQ in book and textual question answer in your fair notebook. And learn it also. Thank you so much, beta.